Hey there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nisha. On my channel, I talk about ways in which you can discover courage in your life. If it's your business, your personal life, relationships, career, or just self-development. And today I'm really excited to talk about a new series that I'm going to launch, which I have always been doing and really journaling more than anything, a lot of this, but I thought it'd be a great tool to post on YouTube and really to help me to be accountable more than anything else. So today I am sharing with you all my weekly goals planners, which I have decided to really help me to ensure that I am meeting my 2019 goals under the 4 pillars that I want to focus on this year. Really 5, but I'm only going to talk about 4 on a weekly basis. And I think it's just a great idea for me to hold myself accountable, share it with you all so that you can see the journey, which I love journeys, as it goes through the process of goal achieving and mind mapping and mindset management. I love to see individuals achieve their goals and really the transformation between where they were to where they're going. I think it's so beautiful and it's just so authentic to share online, and I feel so inclined to share with you. So if this sounds like something you may be interested in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video below, and definitely comment if you would like to see more of videos like this, or how you manage your weekly or monthly goals to ensure that you're meeting your goals for 2019. Disclaimer, I am at home, I am a mom of 2, and I do have my children upstairs with me in the playroom right next door with my husband. So if you hear some occasional Mario Brothers playing in the background or a screaming or two, don't be alarmed. That's just mom life and you got to keep it moving. So that's what we're here to do today. So I want to high level talk about what pillars I want to discuss, what I journal, and then eventually I'm going to turn the camera around and just focus on the actual goals that I have directly, and you won't see me anymore, but I want to talk about it first. So years ago, when I established a number of goals for myself before I became a mom, I kind of created habits which I still adopt and utilize today, and I add them to this weekly goal management, because they are so deeply ingrained in me now that I don't remember them to be habits, but I do want to hold myself accountable, because the more I grow and expand upon them, the more I am going to be more likely to achieve my goals for this year. So I really want to make sure that I remind myself, especially now that I am a mom of 2 and I have a husband, and you have lives and you have businesses and you have careers, and it's so easy sometimes to become distracted with the things that you create as a habit, and it's a part of my DNA. But years ago, when I had a number of goals that I really wanted to ensure I met, some of these things I incorporated on a lower level, and so I am in a practice of definitely ensuring that I'm conscious of these items. But somewhere along the line, maybe the last 2 years, I would say maybe 1 year, more than anything 1 year, I noticed a shift in myself from my own mental mindset, and I don't know where it came from. And really, when I really sat down, really after my own mental breakdown, and I was triggered by just some life events, and just went to a really humbled place. And I realized in that really humbled place that the problem that I was having with manifesting my goals and my vision for my life was that I stopped practicing a lot of the things that really were, like I said, habitual and ingrained in me. I just let go of them because life happened. And I woke up one day and didn't realize that I lost it. And I'm just very mindful of it. So I am really working now to put myself in a practice of incorporating these things into a daily and weekly goal challenge for myself. If you are anything like me, I'm really traditional. I love pen and paper, but the idea for me of achieving a goal, if I don't write it down, it didn't happen. So I really have to make sure that I maintain these things that, like I said, were tried and true in my past, and somewhere in the last 12 months I lost sight of, and I really want to make sure that I'm conscious of them. And I think they're great tools for you all to utilize as well. So high level, the 4 pillars that I'm going to talk about today are really around self-care, and they're actually in order of priority for me for 2019: self-care, self-growth, family, friends, or relationships, household maintenance, which I'll include money in that as well, and then business. And I'm specifically saying business and not career. While I still work my full-time job, I'm at a place in my career that I wouldn't say content, but I am going to say content. I'm content enough that I'm not necessarily interested in allocating too much time toward deviating from my 40 hours I already allocate in achieving goals within my career. Because my focus this year is largely around manifesting money, manifesting a lifestyle change, and manifesting my business. In addition to that, I have 3 affirmations that I use a lot. I've kind of varied the language around them for this weekly planning, and I may definitely keep the same affirmations on this board because they're kind of universal. They're not specific to the week, but anyway, that's a high level of how I'm going to do this. Like I said, this is going to be a weekly video series that I'll do to track my goals for the week, which will roll into my monthly goals, which I'll do a monthly reflection, talk about how I did, talk about my mindset around that. And I think more than anything, this is really going to help me to just make sure that I'm on track to achieve my 2019 goals, because there's nothing cute about ending the year the way that you started it. So we're going to make sure that don't happen this year. In addition to that, I'll add the fifth pillar, which is around money. Money is still one of those topics that, because I am married and I have a husband, I don't know necessarily how much of that I'll include openly on this space, but I'll still talk about the goals on a high level and maybe not detail specific as I go through that process, just because I think it's good to hold myself accountable as well. On the business level, I'll talk about it just now on personal. Anyway, go ahead, flip the camera around and talk through my goals. Back on track. High level of my goals for this week. As I said before, I'm going to do it from a weekly basis. You will notice that I decided to start my weekly basis on a Friday instead of a Monday. And that's really because I tend to allocate the most of my focus on a weekly goal basis on the weekends. And something about just ending my Sunday feeling like I really walked through and utilize that time wisely is really comforting for me. And it really makes me feel really good about my mindset for Monday morning until I have my official quit day down the road. So it feels like I'm walking into some level of purpose and some sense of accomplishment on Monday morning versus walking in feeling defeated, if that makes sense. I know that sounds crazy that I shifted it that way. And I'll talk about that more a little bit further, but this is high level. Like I talked about 4 pillars and then my affirmations. Let's go a little bit more specific. They are in order of priority. So my goal for 2019 was largely around self-care and growth. So for this week, the items that I plan to achieve, I actually think I'm going to check these out as I go through them. The items that I plan to focus on for self-care and growth this week, you'll see some of these are physical, some are mental, some are about just getting outside of your comfort zone for me. And I just had a pretty major life event occur recently, which impacted me physically as well. So it's getting back to a place of what I know to be true around my physical physique and my strength. And for me, a lot of times being physically strong helps me to feel more mentally strong and spiritually strong. And so it's a great deal of focus for me is to get back into a cadence with my workout regime. So goals for this week were to work out 60 minutes on Saturday, which I achieved, and we're going to cross that off. Run 6 miles on Sunday. Still have plans to do that tomorrow. Meditate 10 minutes daily. So far, day 2 into this, I am on track for that. Watch 3 videos and audio on money mindset. I tend to do that when I work out or run, and I've already done that, or in my morning commute, which I love. Get a pedicure. My feet are definitely in desperate need of a pedicure. I aim to accomplish that goal tomorrow. And then connect with one new person. I went to a seminar for work in my work in human resources. I went to a seminar for work on Thursday and Friday and had a great opportunity to meet a lovely Black woman who's also in HR from Chicago, who has a lot of interest around what I have. And she's also interested in going overseas, which I've lived overseas for a couple of years. And we just connected and networked there. So I'll cross that off of my list there. So far in the self-care, self-growth category for this week, I have achieved 3 of my 6 goals, and that puts me at 50%, and it's already day 2 into my week. Like I said, Friday through what did I say? Thursday, excuse me, Friday through Thursday. It's already put me at 50%. So I'm really proud of that so far. Moving on to friends and family category. Relationships mean a great deal to me, and I tend to prioritize them typically over my own self-care. This year, I'm definitely going to continue to focus on my friends and family relationships, or business and professional relationships. But I'm really not going to spend as much energy into that as much as I am going to work on my own self-care, my mindset again. Like I said, 2018 was a really rough mental year for me. So I'm kind of building myself back up from the ground up. And in order to do that, I need to make sure that I'm just focusing my energy on my spirituality, my mental strength, so that I can be a service to these individuals. For this week, big goal I have is to commit to time with my friends. I've, like I said, had a recent life event, which my friends just showed up and showed out in so many ways, and I'm so grateful for. And I want to commit to the items that I promised to get out of the house and actually get back into a regular rhythm with them on. The first being lunch with one of my friends, Lauren. I achieved that yesterday. I'm going to see my girlfriend Jade today. And then my run with Alexis is going to coincide with my 6-mile run tomorrow. However, that may not happen. So if it doesn't, I'll definitely just rearrange that and make it something else. Spend QT time with the husband. He's Corey. QT for me is more so around intimacy. And so I'm very proud to check that one off, at least so far. Just because it's one on here doesn't mean it's just once per week, FYI. Date night with Corey. We're doing that tonight. Email my brother. Different story around my brother, which we'll talk about as we continue to get to know each other better. And then wash and style my Lila, my 3-year-old's hair, which if you have a little brown girl with a curly set of hair like mine, then you know that's a pretty daunting task. It takes me usually about 2.5 hours to get through her hair. So for family and friends, my basic list for this week, I am at 5 out of my 7 goals. So I'm pretty proud of that percentage to, again, only be in day 2. Household maintenance. So this sounds really funny, but if you're on the go, working mom, or if you're just not domestically inclined, like I like to say I am not, and scheduling household care is definitely something I have to do. Otherwise, I'll get lazy and have an issue in my marriage, which is not okay. But anyway, last night on my list was, or for this weekend on my list was grocery shopping. I tend to delay that and defer that until Sunday, which usually means it doesn't happen and I don't go, and then we go a whole week without groceries. So instead of delaying that and deferring that, I actually went grocery shopping at 9:30 last night, got home about 11:30. And so, but I was tired, exhausted, but I can cross it off on my list, and I'm very proud about that. Plan a budget for the next 2 weeks. My husband and I have done that already. We just need to actually start paying toward that. So I'm pretty proud about that. Cleaning kitchen. I rotated out a few dishes, but I want to do a deep clean of the kitchen this weekend. So I can't cross that off just yet. And offloading clothes. I went through, prior to the whole Marie, what is her name, Kondo movement that everyone's on right now. But about a month ago before that, I don't even think I've actually watched that. But about a month ago, I just realized I had so much junk and I just needed to get rid of it. So I went through my closet, went through a number of items that I haven't worn in about a year, and put them on Poshmark, which I'm attempting to sell. And if they don't, I'm going to just take them to the local thrift store. And I need to offload those. I haven't done that yet, but hopefully I'll get that accomplished tomorrow. So for household maintenance, I am 2 of 4, 50%, still okay for me for day 2. Last but not least, business. I am this year launching my second business venture. My first service oriented. My very first business was a brick and mortar business. It was a baby friendly co-working space, which I was very proud of. But this year is more so leveraging my current skill set that I utilize in my day-to-day HR career, and really using that to help entrepreneurs and small business owners and medium-sized organizations with their recruitment operations. And so I'm getting that off of the ground. And that's where the business category is. I have a number of goals around that, which I'll talk about later. But for this week, the YouTube on goal planning is being accomplished today, with this video, so I can check that off. Defining services, the name of the company is called Better Hire. Defining services for Better Hire is something that I have not done yet. My husband and I, he does a side business as well, and we talked about starting an LLC together. In the state of South Carolina, I don't have to declare formally a DBA, so we want to just establish our entities under one LLC. We haven't done that yet, but we will. I have to finish the website for Better Hire, as well as creating my customer journey map. If you don't know what a customer journey map is, I'll happily do a video on that as well, because it's a great tool and resource when launching a business. Again, one of those corporate processes that you as an entrepreneur can definitely leverage if you have any understanding of it. So for the business category, I can only check off 1 of 5 as of today is Saturday at, I think it's 2 o'clock or so. So I can only check off 1 of 5. I typically am a night owl anyway when it comes to business work, because my house is usually loud during the day, having young children. And frankly, I want them to be loud. I want them to be engaged, and I want to spend time with them. So those are the, stepped on something. Those are the goals for this week, day 2 of this week. Let's move on down here to affirmations. My affirmations for this week, and like I said, my babies are in the background, so I apologize for that. She's not happy. It's nap time. My husband's there, so don't think I'm neglecting her. But anyway, my affirmations for this week are definitely ones in which I will probably universally adopt. Like I said, they're ones that I stand by and am really focused on for this year. Affirmation number 1 is my story is worth telling and my vision is worth executing. And for me, that is all about recognizing that I have something to give to the world, and I have a vision for my life that sometimes, because I get afraid or I doubt myself, like so many others, I think is not worth the effort. And I'm focused on that. So I'm going to attract that mentality into this life of mine. My story is worth telling and my vision is worth executing. Number 2 is failure only means that I am working outside of my comfort zone. I welcome failure. I tend to have a different approach to failure than most. I really do welcome failure into my life. I adopted Jay-Z's philosophy on failure, which is all about growing and not really being able to accomplish success or challenge yourself if you are successful, more so around operating outside of your comfort zone and failing as often as you can. But failure just means that, again, I'm working outside of my comfort zone. Everything that I'm challenging myself to do this morning is really going to be a step outside of my, this week is going to be a step outside of my comfort zone, one way or the other. If it means just committing 10 minutes in a Pomodoro style to domestic inclination or whatever it is, it's still something that I wouldn't normally do if I stayed in my normal routine of going to work and come home. Last but not least, number 3, I'm attracting people, knowledge, and resources to achieve a 6-figure business. This is a huge goal for me for this year, and it's a huge affirmation. And I hope, it's not a hope, I will attract the number that I have in my mind. And I'll share that again as I talk about monthly planning and things like that on a business level, because I, like so many of you, am trying to make this thing called life work for me in the best way possible. Turning back around. So like I said, for me, this focus for 2019 is all about living life in the truest form of myself in the brightest light possible in all 4 of these pillars. The 5th being money, which I said before I'll talk about on a monthly basis. So I'm really excited and encouraged to continue through this journey of holding myself accountable, posting these videos to talk through my goals, and hopefully there's something in sharing my goals that would trigger for you to think about how to approach your goal setting and mind mapping differently this year to ensure that 2019 ends the way that you want it to. 2018 kicked my butt. Let me backtrack. 2018 gave me so many amazing things. So much abundance was in 2018. But on the emotional side, it kicked my butt. It really just it forced my hand to acknowledge that I had some work to do on healing. And I really wanted to make sure I focused on myself this year. It's really easy as a working professional, as a wife, as a mom, all of the above, an entrepreneur, whatever your category is, or just to have some trauma in your life at some point. It's really easy to lose sight of yourself and forget that you have to heal in order to welcome your heart and your mind to the abundance that is out there. And it's so much out there for us to achieve. And I know this because I have manifested every single thing that I wanted in my life today. I've done everything that I promised myself that I would do up to this point to really make sure that my life felt, I felt like I was manifesting, you know, in some form or fashion. And I was so proud of that. But I'm on some next level stuff right now where I am just thinking about how to not just achieve on a tangible sense, but more so for me, my sense of fulfillment and my sense of waking up and just being enthused and energized because I'm giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. But I cannot accomplish that if I don't put back into myself. And that's what I lost sight of more than anything else for 2018. I forgot that I was giving and giving and giving, and I wasn't doing a damn thing to give anything back to myself. Hence why my number one pillar for 2019 is about self-care and self-growth. Self-growth is all about protecting my energy, being accountable for my energy, developing and cultivating my mindset, like I said, to really manifest these goals that I have. The largest two will be, more than anything, on my physical physique and getting to a place where I feel even more feel more confident in myself, in this new body, this mom body, as I claim, which I'm so blessed to have because it gave me so much and it's done so much despite my lack of care for it last year. And then the second being this business, my next business venture that I plan to launch here soon, and you will all witness it, to include even the tactical stuff, the scary stuff. And those are really the two things that I'm working the greatest on my mindset to manifest: success in my physique, my physical body, and making sure that I tell the universe and show the universe that I appreciate everything that's given to me. And then success in my business and the venture that I'm launching and the company around it, and manifesting the things that I see and reminding myself that I'm fully capable and I have everything I need today to do that. And like I said, the whole point of this isn't just about holding me accountable. It's to trigger something in you, to remind yourself that you can do everything that you set your mind to. You just got to work on it. But anyway, that's my weekly goal. Again, this is a weekly series. I hope you decide to tune in next week. Again, this is, I hope you decide to tune in next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this channel. Hit the notification bell so that you can be reminded when I post again. I've got to tend to my babies and help my husband. I'll see you soon. Peace, love.